Good evening, everyone. I'm Ben Brophy, joined with Bella Matone, and welcome to Season 3 of Hens Sports Night. We've got a lot in store for you all today. We have some new segments, as well as continuations of segments from last season. So let's get into it. Football is well on its way, heading into the weekend of Week 4. The Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers went down with a season-ending injury. During the first drive of the season, quarterback Zach Wilson has taken his place. It was a big hit to anyone who drafted him in their fantasy leagues, which we'll talk about in the show.
This past Saturday, hockey preseason kicked off with the Los Angeles Kings and the Arizona Coyotes, and yesterday evening, the Philadelphia Flyers fell to the New Jersey Devils 6-0. Tonight, the New York Islanders will take on the New York Rangers in their first preseason game of the 2023-2024 season.
And last Friday, the women's volleyball team took on the Towson Tigers in a highly anticipated matchup. The Blue Hens beat the Tigers in a 5-set victory. They played again on Sunday, but lost in a close 3-2 match. They are 9-3 this season and take on Charleston this Saturday at home at 1 p.m.
Back here at Delaware Stadium, our Blue Hen football team took on the New Hampshire Wildcats this past weekend and were victorious with a score of 29-25. Delaware quarterback Ryan O'Connor made 24 out of 37 completions for 355 yards with 3 touchdowns. Running back Marcus Yarns had 16 carries for 105 yards with a rushing touchdown. The Blue Hens are now 3-1 heading into the bye week. Then looking to get their 4th win Saturday, October 7th against Duquesne at home.
And in baseball, the Phillies versus the Pirates are currently underway, where the Phillies could clinch a wild card berth with a win tonight, where they hope to make another magical run in October.
In more football news, the Philadelphia Eagles are red hot, starting at 3-0, beating the Patriots, Vikings, and Buccaneers. They face the Commanders next Sunday. And for even more football, we have Ryan and Danielle, who have some more information. So let's take a look.
Thank you guys, and welcome to the Delaware football segment of Hens Sports Night. I'm Ryan Furman.
And I am Danielle Weinhofer. We are 4 weeks into the season, and we have seen a lot of great football out of our Blue Hens.
Our current record is 3-1, defeating Stony Brook, St. Francis, and the big upset over the 12th ranked in the FCS division, the New Hampshire Wildcats.
The only loss this season was to the powerhouse of the then number 7, now number 6 ranked FBS Penn State up in Happy Valley. But regardless of the adversity, the Hens are ranked number 16 in the FCS. Yesterday, our Blue Hens took the number 12 spot in the polls, taking the Wildcats' place.
The first victory against Stony Brook was very convincing, a 37-13 victory. Kim Wimberly and Kyron Cumbry each with their first touchdowns in a Blue Hen uniform. Marcus Yarns, no surprise, with 2 scores, one breaking out for 53 yards. But the big highlight of the day was the junior safety Ty Davis with a 50-yard pick 6 to slam the door on the Seawolves.
In Week 2, Coach Cardi and the guys traveled to State College, Pennsylvania, to face the school's biggest challenge in decades. The Penn State Nittany Lions team fighting for a national championship. The Hens suffered a 63-7 loss. However, star running back Marcus Yarns broke out with a 66-yard touchdown run towards the end of the first quarter.
Week 3 was the first game in the Tub, home at Delaware Stadium, and it did not disappoint. Delaware crushed St. Francis 42-14. Even though the red flash struck first, Delaware punched right back. After Marcus Yarns' touchdown, Illinois transfer Kyron Cumbry got ejected from the contest during a scuffle, but that energy was used to cruise through the rest of the game. Kim Wimberly, Josh Youngblood, and Jonathan Silver all scored on offense. Then another pick 6 by this time the captain linebacker Dylan Traynor, taking it back 56 yards to the house.
The Blue Hens were 3-point underdogs at home versus the New Hampshire Wildcats. Delaware won 29-25. Yarn scored twice, then Jordan Townsend and Chandler Harvin both scored. Also, 3 passing touchdowns for quarterback Ryan O'Connor. Last Saturday was a horrible day for football. The tropical storm Ophelia was rolling through the East Coast, but Delaware embraced the elements and an 18-0 deficit to prevail. Sophomore defensive lineman Brett Croca post-game boldly states, "I told you in the beginning, it's a mistake coming into the Tub. You're gonna get drowned."
Delaware is currently placed 2nd in the CAA, just under 4-0 William & Mary. I can really see Delaware having a really good record. However, they face Elon and Villanova, 2 tough teams that they faced up last season and lost to. But with the big win over New Hampshire and seeing how the team really battled back, I have really high hopes.
Next week for the Hens is a bye week, as Bella mentioned, and now we'll send it off to Hot Takes with Tony, Tyler, and Ryan.
Welcome to Hot Takes. I'm Ryan Laziv. Joined with me are Tyler Jacobson and Tony Dean. So let's go right into it. Start with Tyler. Your Eagles doing very well so far.
What can I say? 3-0. Birds look pretty good. Defense looks really solid. That's what I'm proud of. Jalen Hurts in the offense could use a little bit more work. Swift looks incredible. His legs are working like magic. I think Jalen Hurts could step up a little bit better, and I think he's a little rusty, but I think good things to come. How about you with your Jets, Tone?
Chill. Not too much on the Jets, bro. We are having a disappointing start. I guess you can say start. We did win the first game versus the Bills, and now that Aaron Rodgers is officially out for the rest of the season, I don't know if it's going to get any better. We have Zach Wilson at QB. You just can't get the ball. We have the receivers. We have Adam Lazar. We have the great Garrett Wilson. We have Randall Cobb. You feel me? But, when you can't get the QB to get it to him, why even bother at that point, Why even bother? Who cares? Who cares?
I got to ask you, Tone, is he done forever? Is Aaron Rodgers going to hang up the jersey for good?
He said he's coming back next season. They're talking about if we make it to the playoffs, we're not going to make it to the playoffs. But he said if we make it to the playoffs, he's going to come back and play, which wouldn't make any sense at all, so.
I mean, he's got the whole
I
state
don't know,
of New
bro.
York. He's got the whole state of New York waiting for him to play, so.
I'm waiting for him the whole state of Delaware, too, because I'm waiting for him to play, too. I'm saying.
Yeah, and let's switch gears to another sport. Track and field, my sport personally. But they've been getting a lot of hate in the other sports, specifically the NBA, about if other sports should be considered world champions, because Noah Lyles came out and say that they should only going to be world champions if you actually play against other teams in the world.
Listen, my take on this, Noah Lyles has some big cojones for stepping up and saying that, because he got a lot of these NBA players lighten up Twitter off of that take, and I kind of agree with him, because he's bold for making that statement, and although the NBA has the best players in the world, it's hard to call them world champs. The NBA is its own confined league.
I don't know about that one, bro. I don't know about that one. I gotta disagree with him for this. How you think about it though? You take the NBA players, and you take the win. Actually, you can take the Nuggets and put them on the world tour. As Drake said, the world tour. Who's gonna win? The Nuggets by 1,000 points, bro. It's not gonna be fair. It's not gonna be fair.
You're totally right. They're gonna win every game.
Every game by 1,000 points.
But that's not confined to the NBA, and then they're the world champions. But that's not a league. Like I said, Adam Silver, unless he's gonna set up the it's all a blur Drake World Tour, then we're not gonna see a world champion NBA.
No. Because look, all right. So for instance, we could also take any team in the NBA, don't even got to be the world champions, any team in the NBA, and then put them on the world tour. We can take the Cavaliers, who was garbage, and put them on the world tour. Who's going to win?
Listen,
who's going to win?
No. The Cavs are going to win.
Who's going to win?
The Cavs are going to win these games by 80, clearly.
1 million. I'm saying it's not going to be close.
But the thing is, I mean, they're not playing against the best players in the world anymore. The conversation ends there. I mean, the world champion needs to be playing against the best players in the world.
And the best players in the world are in the NBA for a reason.
So you are proving my point a little bit there, I guess. Right, well, what do you think about this,
I mean, I got to play both sides here. I mean, in one aspect, yeah, you put any team, the Pistons, the Magic, whoever. I'm
saying.
Put them in another league, against a team in another league, and they wipe the floor with them. But then you also got to look at some of the exhibition games, like those European teams, they put some fight up against the NBA teams. There's been
against
some
the Plumbers, against me. I'm out there playing for the Suns.
It's the third string Suns. Yeah.
I'm saying.
Hey, I mean, there is a reason.
Not even the Suns at that point.
There is a reason NBA players, players from all over the world go to the NBA, and that's because it is the best league, and I don't think they could compete. And now let's switch to a whole nother sport.
I will say this, just to add one more thing. If all these NBA players, you saw KD and all these guys talking on Instagram and Twitter, if they really want to prove themselves as world champions, they got to get out there, get off their lazy butts every 4 summers and go play in the Olympics. I mean, that's the real world champion. Go get a gold medal. I mean, we used to watch.
Even with that gold, like when they win that gold champion, then what?
I mean, that's going to prove
they're world champions.
I mean, Noah
It happened
Lyles
countless
is an
of times. So the
Olympian.
USA is really, you feel me? Like,
Yeah, man, they couldn't do it this last FIBA World Cup.
And they didn't win
And
that.
it's funny again, too.
Maybe this is why Noah Lyles has a point, because going against these other countries, they're doing well, but they're not always winning. And that's why LeBron is trying to bring back this
I understand.
redeem team.
The
dream
redeem
team.
Yeah,
I
I
think we
also
need to
see
see
what
that.
you
Win it all.
I see what you mean, but it's like this past FIBA season, bro. who was playing? LeBron wasn't playing.
But there's still a lot of the
KD
great
wasn't
NBA
playing.
players.
The
who-
USA team, it definitely wasn't
Steph Curry wasn't playing.
It wasn't the best team he could put together, but they still should not have lost. I'll say that.
Let's transition to football here. I mean, thoughts on Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce? I mean, how's that going to affect the NFL? A lot of people are saying that the NFL is going to get a lot more viewerships because Taylor Swift is now in the league, quote unquote.
In the league.
Anything,
I don't know about that one.
anything she does, it's all over social media, the news,
True.
everywhere. I mean, I haven't been able to escape this Taylor Swift stuff. I mean, I don't even know what the deal is, but I know she's bringing more action to the league.
I mean, I understand why, though, like, you feel me? Because Travis Kelce jersey sales went up by, like, what, 400% or something crazy.
Something crazy.
But then again, you can look at it at this perspective. Travis Kelce, yeah, she's there, but he could have the Jordan Poole effect. You know? If she's not there, he drop every pass, gets no touchdowns.
Yeah, that is true. But, I mean, Travis Kelce ain't Jordan Poole.
But-
That's it for the hot takes here. Now going on to student section interviews with Dylan and Marnie.
What's up, Blue Hens?
I'm Dylan Levine,
And I'm Marty Franzik.
here at the Tub.
And today we had the chance to ask some UD students about being here at the game and on campus. What are your names? If Delaware had a different mascot, what would it be?
My way, Neon shirts, UD's mascot wasn't a bullhead. What would it be?
I think it would be Ice Spice because we are in Delle and she has a song called Delle.
What's your name?
I'm Logan, I'm a junior.
And if Delaware had a different mascot, what mascot would it be?
Oh, definitely a frog. I think the Fighting Blue Frogs would be great.
What's your favorite part about being here?
I love the school spirit.
What's your name?
Erin, and I'm Rachel.
What's your favorite part about being here?
Being roommates with her.
What's your name?
My name's Sam, and I'm a junior here at Delaware.
And what's your favorite part about being at Delaware?
Hang out with my friends.
I'm here with Joe. What's your favorite memory about being here?
My favorite memory has to be French Fest because I met a bunch of my friends there and did a bunch of fun activities.
What's your name?
I'm Claudia, and I'm a junior.
What's your favorite memory about being at UT?
Definitely a lot of memories here. I grew up here, so I have lots of memories. My favorite memory is meeting my friends.
At UT? I'm super excited to cheer on the student section this entire season.
What's your guys' favorite part about game day? All the activities and the atmosphere. The tailgate.
Tailgate.
Tailgating preferred.
Winning!
I'm Declan. I'm Matt. I'm Andrew.
What's one word to describe Delaware football?
JoeFlaco. We're gonna find out today. Blue.
What are your names? Abby. What's one word to describe Delaware football? Super engaging. Really fun.
Who am I here with?
Kayla. Emma.
What's your favorite place for you?
It's gotta be Snap. Roots.
That's a wrap from us here at the Tub.
And we're excited to be here for the rest of the year in the student section.
And now, back to you guys in the studio.
With the NFL season in full swing, that means it's time for the best time of the year, fantasy football season. My name's Mike, and I'm here with fellow fantasy enthusiasts Emily and Rocco. And this week, guys, I kind of wanted to just start the year talking about a few different players who have surprised us, either in a really good way or a really bad way. So we'll start it off with The Rock here. What do you got for us, man?
You got it right, Mike. This season two, a very surprisingly bad player in Josh Jacobs. I mean, this guy has only surpassed 10 points once in week 3 when he's still getting the exact same opportunity and share that he had last year when he was the best or not number 2 running back in the NFL for fantasy. Shout out to Ravens Walter Picks for these stats. These are 69% of carries he's still getting while running 52% of routes and still getting 32% target share even with Devontae Adams on his team. He's still doing all that he can and he still just can't produce.
I mean, Josh Jacobs, for me, is a very weird player because last year, obviously, we saw his dominance, right? I mean, he had to have been a top, 5 running back, I want to say off the top of my head. But here's the thing about Jacobs, and we saw this with the running back landscape of the NFL this past summer, where a lot of these guys, I mean, you look at Saquon Barkley, Austin Eckler, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs himself, to name a few, are holding out, looking for contracts, and in doing so, are missing the entire offseason program with their respective teams. So is it unreasonable to think that Josh Jacobs is beginning of the season lack of production is due to this holdout and his lack of reps with a new quarterback, some new pieces on that offensive line. I mean, what's there to say about that?
Yeah, I definitely think with the lack of reps and the lack of experience that he's had in the summer, like in the off season, that it would be expected for it to be like this. I think that as the season goes on and he gets more reps, he gets more used to being with the quarterback, like he kind of gets his feet in, like everything that's going on. I think by the end of the season, he'll definitely like break out and he'll show us what we want to see from him.
Yeah. Although he's a perfect, at this point, because he will blow up. I know he will. Yeah. This is the perfect buy low candidate if you need a running back. Josh Jacobs is that guy. He's a dog. He will get you these points. Just let him break out. But if you're a fantasy football player, go grab this guy right now. He will earn you the points.
I mean, the Raiders' passing offense this year has been a lot more impressive than their run game. I will say that. So are we concerned that, Jimmy Garoppolo, I know we got the injury concerns this past week. Are we concerned that the passing game is going to take away a little bit from the run game and what Josh Jacobs can do?
I mean, at the end of the day, if Jimmy G is out for however much time, they will need the backup to step up in that way, which he will probably just keep throwing about like 20 targets to Devontae Adams like they do right now. But then that means if you have a backup quarterback coming in who can't do as well as Jimmy G, you got to feed Josh Jacobs. He's your offense. He's going to be your offense from the get-go when he's out, when Jimmy Garoppolo's out. This is the guy that you need to be your bell cow, your star player that you will have to pay because he is a top 7 running back in the NFL.
So you're saying he's going to get the contract?
I think eventually he will. He's just got to prove it. But again, last year he was phenomenal. What more can you talk about? Last year was just so good. That's why he's so disappointing this year. It's just very upsetting to see this downfall of Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, I think time's just going to tell on that one. Have to see how the rest of the season goes for him.
I agree. Well, I mean, hey, we're talking about a running or what should be a running back one. Now let's kind of move over, switch gears to a little bit of a different position. Wide receiver. Here's a wide receiver one. Can we talk about Puka Nacua for a second? Wide receiver on the LA Rams. I mean, the guy has been absolutely phenomenal. 5th round pick out of BYU. I mean, he's averaging 21.4 full PPR fantasy points per game this season. He's just writing his name in the record book each and every week. I mean, is there any sign of slowing down for Puka Nacua in the future?
I think once Cooper Kupp comes back, most definitely. I mean, this guy, Puka Nacua, is commanding about like 15 to 20 targets a game. But if you look at Tutu Atwell, he's getting work in. Last game, he was getting like 5 goal line reps. He had the goal line rush. He stepped out of bounds. It should have been a touchdown if he didn't step out. He had the receiving touchdown. I mean, once Cooper Kupp comes back, and Tyler Higbee's kind of getting into the offensive again. Last game, I'm pretty sure he had about like 5 targets. Once Cooper Kupp is back, Puka Nacua is going to go down. That's why he's a perfect sell high candidate. Get him out of your team because once Cooper Kupp is back, Cooper Kupp will be the dominant player in this Rams offense. Kyron Williams is also going to turn up. And I'm telling you, sell high on Puka Nacua. You will get a great deal back because Puka Nacua is, like you said, averaging about 24?
21.4.
21.4. This is a sell high candidate. Try to get him for Josh Jacobs. Sell him for Josh Jacobs. Do what you can because once Cooper comes back, he will be dominant Cooper Kupp.
Emily, what do we think?
I don't know. I think he might stay high. He's been doing so good so far. Like I feel like he also has that confidence going for him.
Yeah, I mean
that's definitely going to keep on going for him.
Right, the Rams can support 2 wide receivers. I mean, we've seen this in the past. We saw Cooper Kupp. I mean, Robert Woods was great in that offense for years. I mean, last season they had Cooper Kupp. Odell Beckham was a flex play at least for when he was healthy. So I think that Puka can continue his dominant streak. I mean, I am a little hesitant to put him in my lineup once Kupp gets back, and we kind of, for the first couple of weeks, we're seeing what they can do together. But we'll figure it out. So we got a running back, we got a wide receiver. Emily, you got let's see, a different position, maybe a tight end for us on that list?
I do have a tight end. Another surprising player for me, someone who, again, I think let us down was Dallas Goedert. First game, he had no receptions, no points. Like, he just wasn't scoring, or he got targeted once, no receptions. And then the second game was a little bit better, but he's still not really getting anywhere. He's rostered on 95% of fantasy teams, so I feel like he's definitely letting a lot of people down right now, but I think that he definitely will come back by the end of the season. So I wouldn't give up on him yet.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the tight end landscape as a whole, as we know, is
it's a very, very fluid or non-fluid position. It could range. I mean, if you look at Sam Laporta, who is a rookie, and he's killing it. I mean, last game he had about 20 in a full PPR. This guy, Sam Laporta, is really good, and he's playing better than Dallas Goedert, who Sam Laporta, his average ADP, I don't think was even in the first 12 rounds.
Look at that, exactly.
And Dallas Goedert was in the first 8. I mean, when you look at the tight end landscape and you have players like T.J. Hawkinson, Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, there's not really many people you think outside. So this Dallas Goedert fall off is not something that really I knew, but it doesn't surprise me in a way that I'm like, oh, you need Dallas Goedert because he will turn up. The Eagles are a very run-first offense. They showed it. DeAndre Swift is absolutely tearing up defenses right now. So many rush yards. I mean, this guy's on a tear. So if they keep the run first, then we don't know what Dallas Goedert's going to do. It's another like Kyle Pitts in the Falcons office, run first. You don't know with tight ends.
I agree. Well, I mean, honestly, only time will tell with all 3 of those guys, and hopefully when we're sitting back up here, we can say nothing but good things about them. But until then, guys, happy week 4 of the fantasy season for those who celebrate, and that's all we got for you today. Thank you.
49 News starts right now.
I'm Emma Schneider here with your entertainment news.
I'm Laura Daly here with this week's weather update. We could see the clouds are moving in to the area as the night progresses.
I went out to find out what students really think.
Let's see what students at the University of Delaware have to say.
Here's what you can do to keep yourself safe during this holiday season.
Sadly, that is all we have for you tonight on 49 News.
It's back. We're back.
Hens Sport Night, your University of Delaware sports broadcasting show.
That team from Boston. Just because they got a leprechaun don't mean they're going to be lucky.
How has your experience been playing field hockey here? How magical was the beginning of the season for you guys?
Who are you rooting for this World Cup?
Probably the USA or Scotland.
Watch the play. I don't think I've seen it though. Yeah, you can't guard them. That's not your body.
It's her first time in 10 years. So we're like kind of at the same level.
Welcome to Real Talk.
What is the best Halloween candy?
You had to play a song every time you came into the room. What song would it be?
This movie's bonkers. Let's get right into that.
Yeah. Do you guys like pickles?
No.
I love pickles. I'm so excited.
You see Kanye West as this icon, as this person, and he said some anti-Semitic things. So it's like, how do you deal with it?
There's nothing scarier than a student-run television show with an audience of 13.
Do you mean bi-weekly?
Don't they look stunning?
What?
I don't want to hold you back. Ow!
What now?
McKinley! Shut the hell up!
Let me just leave these babies here, Ricky, while I head on up to the saloon for the hour. I'm just gonna.
I've been your host, Lauren Kapp, and this is the Bi-Weekly Show.
Hello and welcome back to HSN. I'm Sam Cucuzella. With me today is Matt Pollard, and today we are going to be taking a look at some former Delaware Blue Hens and asking ourselves, where are they now? Now let's start off with JoeFlaco. And JoeFlaco is one of the most highly decorated athletes to come out of the University of Delaware. But you may be surprised to hear that it didn't start that way. Flacco originally committed to Pittsburgh, where he played sparingly and transferred to Delaware in 2005. He became the full-time starter in 2006, and in 2007, he broke out during the season. The Flacco-led Blue Hens rose to an 8-3 record and made it all the way to the FCS National Championship game before unfortunately losing to Appalachian State. Even though he was at a smaller school, Flacco received a lot of hype before the draft, and in the 2008 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens traded up in the first round to select Flacco with pick number 18. In his first few seasons with the Ravens, Flacco put up solid numbers as a starting quarterback, but he rose to a higher level of fame with his 2012 Super Bowl win, where Flacco was named MVP after a postseason run where he managed to beat both Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. In his 4 postseason games that year, he threw for 1,140 yards, 11 touchdowns, and no interceptions. After that season, Flacco became, for a short period of time, the highest paid quarterback in NFL history with a 6-year, $120.6 million contract. In his next few seasons in Baltimore, Flacco didn't quite reach the heights of a Super Bowl performance, but he still put up some impressive statistics. He remained in Baltimore until 2018 when Lamar Jackson replaced him. He was traded that offseason to the Denver Broncos, where he played in 8 games in 2019 before going down with injury. The Broncos released Flacco that offseason, and he was signed by the Jets to back up Sam Darnold. However, after some injuries to Darnold, he became the starter for a few games. After that season, he signed a deal with his hometown Philadelphia Eagles for the 2021 season, but in October of that year, he was traded back to the Jets after Zach Wilson suffered an injury. He re-signed with the Jets for the next season and ended up starting the first 3 games of the season after Wilson again went down with injury. And after Wilson came back, Flacco backed up until the final week of the season, where he started again in place of an injured Wilson. At age 38, Flacco is still eyeing a comeback, but as of today, he remains unsigned, which kind of surprises me considering, you saw Aaron Rodgers get injured. He has experience with that offense, he could probably come back. You never know with him.
The next athlete we're going to be talking about is Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy was born in a small town in Dunellen, New Jersey. He ended up committing to Delaware and played for them from 1997 to 2000 after graduating from Manheim High School. And his first meaningful appearance came in the first round of the Division I AA playoffs, where he came in for the injured starter Brian Gann and led the team to a 16-7 win against Georgia Southern. He ended up starting the next week as well, but despite a solid 2-touchdown effort, Delaware fell to McNeese State 21-20. He was named the permanent starter in his junior year, and during his senior year, the Blue Hens went 12-2 and ended the regular season ranked second in the Division I AA. Despite winning the first 2 games in the playoffs, their season came to an end in the semifinals against Georgia Southern in the 27-18 loss, which would actually end up being his final game as a Blue Hen. After graduating, his main focus was to prepare to play for the NFL, but unfortunately, he did not get any opportunities to do so. Because of this, he turned his attention to arena football, where he played for the New York Dragons. Throughout the next few years, he bounced around a few more times before he ultimately retired from his professional career in 2008. After working his way up the NFL ranks, he became the head coach of the Chicago Bears, where he led them to a 12-4 record, but they fell to the Eagles in the first round of the playoffs, thanks to their kicker, Cody Parkey, hitting the side of the field goal post on a chance to win them the game. He ended up staying with the Bears for a few more years after that, until 2022, but he was fired after an unsuccessful season. Currently, he is the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, and he gets to work with stars such as Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL today.
I'm sure some Eagles fans here and at the University of Delaware are kind of mixed on Nagy because, he helped them advance in the playoffs with the Bears, and he also helped beat them in the Super Bowl. So a bit of a mixed reaction from the Philadelphia Eagles faithful. And next, we're going to be talking about Elena Delle. Born in Wilmington on September 5th, 1989, Delle started her Delaware athletic career as a volleyball player. And she announced she would play basketball in 2009 as a redshirt freshman. She dominated her first year, averaging 26.7 points per game and being named the CAA Rookie of the Year and Player of the Year. Her sophomore season didn't quite live up to expectations due to Delle contracting Lyme disease, but in her junior year, she led the nation in scoring with an astonishing 20.1 points per game. Her senior season also saw a bout with Lyme disease, but she still performed incredibly well and led the Blue Hens to the number 6 seed in the 2013 NCAA Women's Tournament. She declared for the 2013 WNBA draft, where she was selected second overall by the Chicago Sky. In her rookie season, she led the Sky to the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and she ended up winning Rookie of the Year. In 2015, she won the WNBA MVP award and scored a career-high 45 points in a game where she also set the WNBA record by making 19 consecutive free throws. In 2016, she helped Team USA win a gold medal in women's basketball in the Olympics. She was traded in the 2016 offseason to the Washington Mystics, but in 2018, she reached a WNBA milestone as the fastest player to reach 3,000 points. In 2019, she won her second career MVP award, and she also ended up winning her first WNBA championship, as the Mystics beat the Connecticut Sun in 5 games. She's still in Washington at the moment, where she just finished her 6th season with the Mystics and the 10th season in the WNBA. Great career from Delle.
And finally, we'll be talking about Rich Gannon. And you have probably seen him recently if you attended the Blue Hens' 42-14 win over St. Francis, as he was out on the field for the opening coin toss. In his time at Delaware, Gannon started off as a punter before he moved to quarterback during his sophomore year. In this new role, he excelled, reaching 2,000 yards of offense each year and being named the Offensive Player of the Year in his senior year for the Yankee Conference, which was the precursor to the modern-day Colonial Athletic Association. Gannon ended up being drafted in the 4th round of the 1987 draft by the Patriots, and soon after this, he was actually traded to the Vikings. Gannon then spent a decade backing up in Minnesota, Washington, and Kansas City. He occasionally started games, but most of the time he was backing up. However, in 1999, he got his big break after he signed with the Oakland Raiders. He made 4 Pro Bowl appearances during his time in Oakland, and the ultimate highlight was in 2002, where he was named the NFL MVP and won the AFC Conference Championship. He retired from the NFL 2 seasons later, and immediately after retirement, he became an NFL analyst on CBS, where he worked until 2020. Thank you, everyone, for watching tonight's show, and be sure to tune in next time on October 10th. Thank you and have a good night.
All right, guys. Good second run through.
Yeah, just make sure you're really paying attention to your jobs. You don't want another prompter mishap.
Yeah, and if you're not